Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fractal 101. My name is Alex. Thank you so much for watching this video. What we're going to be talking about today, scene controllers. What are they? Where can I find them and manipulate them? And how do I use them to the best of my ability to get the most out of my Fractal presets, whether I'm on the AXFX3, the FM9, or the FM3. A scene controller is an incredibly powerful modifier that allows you to change any number of parameters from scene to scene, completely automated. This can go a long way, especially when you're using a 1 amp system like the FM3. You can get a lot of seamless sounding things on your amp or your modulation, your delay blocks, etc. So let's dive into a few examples and show you how you can use scene controllers in your next preset. First of all, we have a very simple preset setup, an input block, an amp, which we can go between a clean and a crunch sound. We have a boss chorus running in series, cabinet with 2 IRs active, and then a medium room reverb also running in series, straight to our output block. Now, let's say we want our chorus to come in on the cleans and we want it to be bypassed on our heavy tone, a pretty common thing. You could, as you switch to your heavy scene, just bypass the chorus. Our Fractal devices do remember that, but say we want a little more control with this, we have the option of assigning a scene controller. You'll hit source 1, find scene controller. When the scene controller is at 0%, we want it bypassed. And when we are at 100%, it will be engaged. It does not default to this. Where do we find this? How do we control this? There's a controllers tab in the top left of your AX edit, your FM3 or FM9 edit. Click that. Go down to Scene Controller 1 and 2, and here we have our scene controller, and then each scene has its own knob. We can set all to 0. It erases everything. You can put in any number you'd like here. Make sure you hit the button, and you see our chorus is now engaged on every scene. But say we want it engaged for scene 1. Take that to 100%, and on scene 2, it is not on. As we look here, we are bypassed now when we go to our heavy channel. Incredibly beneficial, especially across multiple scenes. But what if we want more out of this? There's plenty more to be given. But what if we want a little bit of chorus on that heavy sound, but not quite as much as we have on our clean tone? We can assign a scene controller to our mix knob. Right click, source 1, scene controller 1. It defaults to 0 to 100. Now when we go to our scene controller menu, the default is 50%, where it's half chorus, half clean unprocessed signal. So scene 2 is our heavy tone. Maybe we take that back to 25%, and we see that is reflected here. So as we switch between scenes, you can see that the mix knob changes as well. Very powerful. You can also have the rate change and change drastically if you'd like, while also changing the mix at the rates you've already assigned. So, say we want our mix here, remembering that we're at 50% of our scene controller level. We're going to start at 1 Hertz. We're going to go to 5 Hertz or thereabouts for our max. So as you can see on our clean, we are now at 2, and as we switch to our heavy, it goes down. So You might have to do a little bit of math, but you can adjust so that for the heavy we have a slower rate. You could also change the depth and do so in a reverse corollary benefit, dialing in our modulation. So for our heavy tone, we have a higher depth, a lower rate, and on our clean sound, we have medium depth and medium rate. That'll sound like this. That's all being tied to just Scene Controller 1. So anything that has a modifier circle, you can apply a scene controller to. Now let's hear this in context with some presets I've been using for years. First up, we have Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. This is my original preset, not the Neil Sean modded version that I have as V2. As you can see, Input Boost has a modifier engaged, and that is a scene controller. So, when we go to our Scene Controllers menu, we see that Scene Controller 1 only has the input boost of our amp engaged on Scene 2, which is our leads. For our main rhythm tone, it is off. And for our chorused clean, it is also off. So, as we cycle through, we see that is engaged. You can hear the difference in that being that it's on an input boost by just playing the rhythm part. We will bypass the delay and the filter blocks for a better comparison. Quite a difference, and all done at a moment's notice, while also changing the delay and the filter to engage for leads. Very powerful, just on an input boost. But what if we want to use this on multiple sources and parameters? This is my preset for Hit Me With Your Best Shot. When I'm on an FM3, as of this video, I do not have gapless switching capabilities, so it is very nice to have all of these scene controllers adjusting multiple parameters so I can use the same amp and adjust all of the settings that I need to accordingly. I have a Scene Controller 1 attached to my gain, my bass, my master, and my level, as you can see. What I've done in the Scene Controller menu is for Scene 2, just set everything to 100, and for Scene 1, everything is at 0. So, my min, is set to my 0%, or Scene 1, and my max is set to 100% for Scene 2. So for things that go up, you can have the lower number, higher number. For things that go down, like the level, you can run a smaller number on your max, and it will adjust like this. Quite wonderful. Now, without the delay or the filter boost for lead boosting, we can hear those tones side by side with the main riff. Now, as you can hear, that gain and that master volume come up. We get a much fatter sound. The bass knob comes up a little bit. So we're increasing 3 different parameters taking that level down to -3 and bringing in a filter boost and a delay when we're playing those lead tones, which automatically bypass as we would like. Quite wonderful when we have this option across many different parameters. One thing of note, with any modifier, you can make these channel specific. This is something I've recently come upon and is quite handy in a pinch. So maybe I want these scene controller modifiers to work on channel A, but maybe I switch to a very particular chorus for scene 3 and I don't want to deal with the math. I just want a particular sound. You can assign this modifier with channel and make it channel A only. We can do that to any and all of the scene controllers. We have complete control. As we switch to scene 2, we see everything is still engaged. When we switch to scene 3, we see that we switch to channel B. We have full control over these knobs, and as we switch back, we see that the scene controller is still active when we're on channel A, but it remembers our position that we put it in for channel B, or scene 3, which would normally, in our controllers window, go down to 0%. Everything would drop. This is very handy when switching across multiple channels within any system. That's the quick on scene controllers. I hope this is helpful for you, and I hope this allows you to get the most out of your Fractal unit. If you enjoyed this video, you can check out more videos throughout the channel with Fractal 101, tutorials of tone, gear reviews, playthroughs, etc. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next time.